T. Higgins off the board. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing. Well, kinda. Next, here on Titan Upload, powered by BetUS. According to James Rapin, who just came out over the X account, who claims that the Cincinnati Bengals, sources are telling him, will be indeed franchise tagging T. Higgins yet again for the second straight season out of the Cincinnati Bengals. T. Higgins is quite a great wide receiver, actually. In his 5 seasons, last season was by far his best season, and his other 4 seasons were quite good as well. According to Pro Football Focus, his overall grade was 88.2. He had 73 receptions for 911 yards and 10 touchdowns. Count them up, 10. Nick Westbrook-Akine, I think, had 9. But T. Higgins definitely would change the offense for the Tennessee Titans and provide a definite 1-2 punch with him and Calvin Ridley. But Titan fans, no worry, because it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And that will force the Tennessee Titans to either A, pick another free agent that's going to be out there, which I'll give you ChatGPT's top 10, or the other option would be actually do it the hard way and find a guy in the draft and try that again, which we did a couple years ago with A.J. Brown, but that's another story. So why is this good for the Titans? Can the best wide receiver available via free agency off the board this early in February be a good thing for Tennessee? I actually think so. Here's why. The Tennessee Titans definitely do need a wide receiver. Down at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, we met with Bro Schmo, and Bro Schmo is definitely a draft analyst. And he said, you know what? According to him, the Titans should be looking at wide receiver. He could have went a different bunch of ways. He didn't. He stuck with wide receiver as his number 1, even over the offensive line, which was his number 2. The Titans will have some options in this year's draft. But don't worry, look no further than at number 1 or trading down to number 3 and having an option for him. But wide receiver / cornerback from Colorado, Travis Hunter. There's a lot of people that do this for a living that have Travis Hunter, your number 1 option, your generational talent in this year's draft. So taking him, although a lot of us are pushing towards quarterback and Cam Ward or Shadir Sanders, Travis Hunter might be the best option for Tennessee. And this T. Higgins news may actually help push that to happening. And if this guy can be a stud cornerback and a stud wide receiver, putting him at wide receiver in Nashville and giving him the option right out of the gate, you always got the fallback to cornerback, but if they can actually excel at his skills and use them on the offense side of the ball where the Titans need it most right now, might not necessarily be a bad thing. But Travis Hunter would bring a whole nother dynamic to the Tennessee Titans offense, whether it be end arounds, whether it be getting him involved in the screen game, or actually using him deep. I know, T. Higgins would have been a nice addition. And for my second reason why T. Higgins probably we're better off is he was going to cost an enormous amount of money. And the Titans are nowhere near to where they need to be right now. They are at the bottom of the bottom. According to BetUS, they are the worst team, them and the Panthers, for Super Bowl odds next year. And I get it. It's not all about the Super Bowl next year. But it does put in perspective that the Colts and the Jaguars, which I think are terrible too, they are 10,000 points higher than the Titans. That's right, 10,000 points higher. Now, I know in the grand scheme of things, winning a Super Bowl odds, that's not that big of a deal when you're plus 20,000 compared to plus 10,000. But still, it shows that the Titans are still far away. Last reason why I think T. Higgins to the Titans just wasn't going to work out and why we're probably better off that he's franchise tagged. Because I think it was a foregone conclusion that T. Higgins was coming to the Titans. And I think everybody expected it last year. And when it didn't happen last year, I think a lot of us were bummed. Could have happened this year, where he picked another team who's better than the Titans and got paid a pretty good amount to go to a winner rather than to the first number 1 overall pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, Tennessee Titans. And it would have been another deflating moment as a Titans fan. So when you add them all together, maybe we're better off. But then on the flip side, wow, did you see what's out there? But before we dive into that, let's hear from our friends over at BetUS. Check out BetUS for all their latest props and all their latest things you can bet on, including cricket. BetUS has a promo code going on that's not going to last forever. It's called YouTube150, and that will get you 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on deposits 2 and 3, all up to $2K. BetUS also has a casino feature where you can play your coolest casino games live from your home, as long as you live in the right state. So definitely check out BetUS. Again, use that promo code YouTube150 because, guys, they may be super quick and turnaround speed and getting your winnings as fast as basically the best in the business, but this promo code's not going to last forever. So use that code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first deposit. Because when I look at the current list of availability, it's pretty sad. Who are the best wide receivers going to be available in this year's NFL free agency 2025? And here's the list I got. Obviously, T. Higgins, number 1. Chris Godwin, number 2. Amari Cooper, 3. Stephon Diggs, 4. Hopkins, which is retiring, he's at 5. Just shows you enough that you probably already need to know. Keenan Allen, 6. Dante Johnson, 7. Marquise Brown, 8. Number 9, Brandon Cooks. And 10, Darius Slayton. That's it. There's not a lot of availability. There's even throwing in NWI, according to A to Z Sports, would you re-sign him? And I'm thinking to myself, wow, if NWI just happened to be our number 2 and Calvin Ridley was our number 1, how horrifying would that be for the Tennessee Titans? Now, don't get me wrong, I love NWI, and this is not a bash on NWI, but there's no way he's a 2, and I'm going to argue there's no way he's even a 3 wide receiver. He's 4 at best, preferably 5. And I get it. He scored a lot of touchdowns, but there was a lot of times he didn't do anything. And that's partly why we have the number 1 pick, because in key situations, key drives, key third downs, the guy wasn't able to get open, or he flat out dropped the ball a couple times, or heck, started the season into week 4 against Miami, where Mason Rudolph was the first one to actually get him a pass completed. And I believe that was his first target as well against Miami. Guys, if you're a true number 2 or true number 3, even with Will Levis as your quarterback, it doesn't take that long to get a target. So there's not a lot of availability outside of T. Higgins. And now taking him off the board, all these other guys are going to go up 1 spot, and they're going to be even more inflated. And that's probably not a good thing. So maybe I should change the title of this video to why T. Higgins doing the franchise tag again is a total disaster for Titan fans. Maybe that would have been a better option. But going forward, as long as Tennessee does it the right way, I don't care. So again, comment, let me know, what does this news do for you? For me, honestly, it focuses more on the draft, and I'm actually excited about that. I am not going to be teased like last year, thinking I'm going to be good this year, when in all reality, that's probably not going to happen. Because for me personally, hey, at least it's not another letdown. And like I said, now I can focus more on the draft. Shout out again to our friends over at BetUS. Don't forget to use that promo code YouTube150. And until next time, don't forget to tighten up.